Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. For those who don't know me, I know just told you that my name's Arnold. I'm the very proud dad of Georgia. You keep doing that, it encourages me. On behalf of Samantha, Debbie, John, myself and our families, I'd like to welcome you all here today. You know, to celebrate the marriage of Georgia and Michael. I want you all to know how grateful we are that each one of you is here today to help us celebrate, especially as some have come a very long way indeed, including Michael's cousins who have travelled from Australia to be here today. You are all invited because you are very special to Michael and Georgia, and your love, support and presence here is we are extremely grateful for. Right, now that's the welcome bit out of there. Now to one of my two favourite subjects, my Georgia. And the other one's Olivia, by the way. It's not quite right. Georgia, I still remember you as, I'm quite lucky, I still remember you as my adorable little girl who used to slot your hand in mine when we used to go on family walks. Or the adorable little girl who used to sit on my lap and put your arm around my neck and snuggle me so tightly that I thought we were one person. As a dad, I thought there's nothing could be that true love that I had then. But when I arrived today and saw you in your wedding dress for the first time, I realised that love has no boundaries to the depth that it could be. Ooh, that's hard, isn't it? No. And then I had the distinct privilege of walking you down the aisle to marry the love of your life, Mike. You are beautiful, Georgia, and I know everybody's been telling you that, but I'm your dad, and that's a fact. And it is a fact. When your mum agrees, it becomes a fact. So, a few weeks ago, I came across a Father's Day card that Georgie wrote for me many years ago, and I've kept them all at home. And looking through my box that I have, I found this card, and I'm not sure when it was, but it's got a card from Georgia. It says, "Daddy, I love you. Happy Father's Day." It's got a picture of a bike on. It's got a picture of a racing car with Gold Lewis wrote on it, and a picture of dairy milk buttons with Yum Yum wrote it. So Georgie, you knew me so well even there. And inside there's a lot of tear-off vouchers that I can redeem, entitles me to ask Georgia to do tasks for me. But the bad news is, Georgia, I haven't redeemed them all yet. So I can still ask you to wash my car, get a head massage, and my favourite of all is actually, it just says, "This voucher entitles you to do anything at all." So when I do the decorating of the house next, I'll be sure to give you a call. And, just because you're married doesn't mean you get out of that one. No. Right. When I listed, sorry, I missed something. Sorry, I missed something. Sorry, I missed a bit. Georgia, I've said you were beautiful already, and you are obviously beautiful. But I'm more proud, I'm just as proud, if not more so, of what you are as a woman and the woman you've grown into. Some of your many attributes are you're empathic, you're funny, you're intelligent, and you're wise, and you're the best big sister that any of you could ever ask for. Okay. Now I know I did say intelligent, but I didn't actually mean that you're always intelligent. I remember the first year at Leeds University, when you were for charity, to raise money for charity in Ragweek, you informed me that you were hitchhiking from Leeds to Hull, catching a ferry across to Rotterdam, and then hitchhiking from Rotterdam to Amsterdam with other students, and you reassured me that everything was safe and well organised. So I did what most dads do at that point. I didn't tell your mum. Anyway, the day of the grand departure was coming, came along, and I just happened to be in a meeting in London at the time, and my phone rang, and it was on silent, but it rang, and I looked at it and thought, well, that's George, I'll ring her back later. Anyway, after 3 missed calls, I thought, I better pick this phone up. So I excused myself from the meeting and walked outside. and he took the phone. I said, so the conversation went like this. I said, Georgia, what's up? And she said, nothing, why? I said, well, why the 3 missed calls? She says, well, Dad, we're studying Leeds and we're about to hitchhike to Hull. I said, yes. She said, which way is Hull? So not the best start, but needless to say, I didn't tell her mother until she got back safely from that. I told you that story because for me it epitomises Georgia's lust for life and confidence to be herself and to go and explore and live life to the full. And when you do that, you bring joy and happiness to everybody you meet. I could not be prouder of the woman that you've turned into, Georgia. Not at all. You know, your attributes are lovely to see and lovely to come. And I'm proud of everything that you've achieved in life so far. And also, I look forward to what's coming as going forward as Mrs. Lucas. I'd also like to, it's your turn now, Michael. I'd like to officially welcome Michael into the family. Although obviously Michael's been around our family a long time and been a member of the family throughout. But Michael's love for Georgia is beyond doubt and shines through in everything that they do together. And it's truly heartwarming to see them working together as you do. Who would have thought that when Samantha and I dropped a 14-year-old Georgia off at Blackburn Cinema to watch a film with a friend. And we watched her out of the car window be met by a 6-foot young man with a blue beanie on his head. That it would lead to this, but we could not wish for a better son-in-law than we've got. Your kindness and unwavering support for Georgia that touched myself and Samantha very deeply. And not everybody knows this, but Michael came to see me before he proposed to Georgia and to ask me if it would be okay. And I know he didn't need to do that, and it's only symbolic, but for me it showed me again the character that Michael has and the respect he has for Georgia when he did it right. And, you know, I told him, obviously it was pretty obvious, I told him yes, that's fine. But I also told him that Georgia would always be my little girl. Debbie and John, I'm sure you are already, but you should be very proud of the son that you've raised in Michael. David, the jury's still out on you. Today marks the beginning of another chapter, and you've obviously got quite a few chapters between you already in the last 13 years, but it marks the beginning of another chapter, and whatever the future holds for both of you, my advice to you is simple, actually. Just keep doing what you're doing. You know, love each other, support each other, work hard, and have good humour, and you'll get through any of the difficulties that may come your way. All right. I have a saying that George heard quite a few times, and it is and I want you to remember it going forward, is that things turn out best for those who make the best of how things turn out. Most of you will know this, but about 8 years ago I was quite poorly, and it was a bit touch and go whether I'd be okay. Anyway. One of the thoughts that went through my head at the time, and one of the saddest thoughts that upset me the most, was I may not be here to walk my beautiful daughters down the aisle. Anyway, we smashed that one, Georgie. So, I love you both, and I love you, I love you both, and I wish you love, happiness, and something else. Still standing. I want you to please join me in raising a toast to Michael and Georgia. To Michael and Georgia.
Thanks, ladies and gentlemen. A massive round of applause again for all. I'd now like to invite two of the lovely bridesmaids up, Rosie and Laura, just to say a few words.
Hello, I'm Laura, and this is Rosie. We've known Georgia for the past 25 years and have been lucky enough to be two of her best friends throughout her life. So today we're going to share some of the reasons why we love and admire her so much.
We're talking about the girl who owns the monopoly of biology tutoring in the Ribble Valley. Georgia's entrepreneurial streak started on the streets of Clitheroe. Together, we were probably one of the youngest duos to set up multiple organisations by the age of 10, running stalls at the end of the drive, selling flowers and trinkets from around the house, the Brumley Avenue car wash, and the bedroom cleaning business, to name a few. On the side, Georgia was running doll fashion shows and a babysitting company over at Laura's, all while looking after the small school of beanie babies that had fire drills every 10 minutes at the Morrison's Wendy house. Since then, not much has changed. Switching the imaginary hustle to a real business of her own, we've been so proud of Georgia and everything she's achieved. We haven't been at all surprised by the success, her dedication and drive have led her to, and we're forever impressed by her independence and ability to make the difficult look easy. She's a solution-minded girl. This also rings true to her love life, with her future husband ticked off at the age of 13. She was very much one and done. Now what can I solve next?
Georgia has always approached life with logic. She's at her scariest when she switches off all emotion and is asked to help clear out someone's room, help a friend move house, or is asked to give honest advice. She's brutal, but it's always exactly what you need. She practiced this in her own life. As the self-described Marie Kondo of the Ribble Valley, Georgia will never hold on to anything in her house that doesn't serve her. With this mentality, on behalf of us both and all the girls, we're really glad that we've still made the cut after all this time. As some of you may remember, little Georgia was pretty terrified of a lot of things. Ordering in a cafe, most animals, or even being in the sun without Factor 50, a rash vest, and stand close by with a parasol. So it's been amazing to have watched her become the glowing and confident girl she is today.
Georgia certainly isn't afraid to put herself out there. She quite literally threw herself into cheerleading at uni. She briefly became an interior design influencer, successfully hitchhiked to Amsterdam, and even survived that dicey homestay in Vietnam. The girl is unstoppable. She was without a doubt the first one in our friendship group to truly know herself and what she wanted in life. And whilst we all had our moments of uncertainty, Georgia has always been the one friend that has it all together. You could turn up at hers for a spontaneous catch-up, and the house is spotless, with a week's worth of food prepped, and she'll drop in how she's met up with 5 different family members, played some tennis, seen 3 students, done a gym class, been to Manchester and back, all while sporting a bouncy blow dry, a great outfit and fresh new nails, and it's just gone 4 p.m.
Georgia is everybody's cheerleader. She wants the best for everyone around her and will always celebrate your successes. She's fiercely loyal. All of her friendships are long-lasting, which is a testament to how much she nurtures the relationships with those she cares about. She's charming, lovable, and always makes time for other people, whatever they need. She'll be there to make you laugh with a quick-witted comment or with her elaborate dance moves and karaoke performances. She never takes herself too seriously, so you don't have to either. She'll equally be there for the tough times. If you need someone to cry to, she'll be right there to pull you out of the pit. There will always be a walk to go on, freshly baked cookies to eat, and a solution to your problems. She's an all-rounder friend.
If Georgia had a superpower, it would be the ability to talk to anyone at length for as long as possible. So much so that in school, myself, Ailish, and I'm sure other combinations with the common denominator of Georgia would be frequently told off for chatting away or uncontrollably giggling during lessons, a student I'm sure Georgia would love to teach. One person she was shy to speak to, however, was a certain monsieur in her French class in Year 9. Their love story began with their first official meet-up being arranged via secret notes and attended with friends for backup support by the school skip. There must have been something about French spoken with a thick Lancashire accent that did it for Georgia. Because from that point onwards, whilst we were all discussing who our top 5 crushes were at sleepovers, for Georgia there was only ever one.
As much as we couldn't imagine our lives without Georgia, we also couldn't imagine it without Mike. He's quite the overachiever, can be quietly competitive, but he's a kind-hearted, thoughtful guy with a cheeky streak who will go out of his way to put a smile on your face. He's the perfect match for our best friend. We know that marriage for G and Mike will be an easy transition. They've always been each other's biggest supporters, no matter where they were in life. They've grown from young teens to fully functioning adults, and it's been amazing to see how they've grown together. With their constant stream of in-jokes and new silly quotes you can never keep up with, they speak their own language of nonsense that will have them both howling. This has always been the case. From chatting all night on MSN to literally not speaking for days at university, they've always had their unique style of communication, but it's always worked. It's evident they knew all along they were a given.
We're unbelievably lucky to have them both in our lives. We're sure they'll continue to make each other incredibly happy, and we can't wait to be there for whatever the future may hold. To our best friend and her wonderful husband, Georgia and Mike.
Well done.
A massive thanks to Rosie and Laura, very well put together. I'd like to again introduce you to Mr. Clucas, who's now going to say a few words. Right, wait, round of applause please, come on!
So, on behalf of me and my wife, we'd like to welcome you to Hobbit Hill on this gorgeous autumn Monday. Thank you so much for coming and making today what it is. Today is simply the proudest and best day of my life. Already. The fact that each and every one of you is here means the absolute world to both of us. People have travelled far and wide to be with us today. People have travelled from far away as Australia and places as exotic as Birmingham. So, again, thanks from both of us for coming in and making today what it is. So today was planned with nothing more than a little bit of can-do attitude and a bit of elbow grease. And yes, a large financial injection for you. Before I go into a few short stories about mine and George's time together, there are a number of people in the room I'd like to thank, including the aforementioned families. To my mum and dad, words cannot describe my gratitude for everything you have done for me. You are two of the most thoughtful, kind and loving people I have ever met, who have given me the best upbringing in life I can imagine. You gave me the happiest childhood and instilled in me important principles such as hard work and humility. You're a constant source of inspiration to me, and if I could be half the people that you are, I'll be incredibly happy. I definitely don't tell you enough, but I love you both very much. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you for everything. To my brother David, throughout all the trials and tribulations of life, you've been the one constant by my side for everything. So it's only fitting that you are by my side today on the happiest day of my life. And I could not wish for a better brother to share this experience with. A lot of people don't have the honour of calling their brother their best friend, but I certainly do. I've learned a lot from you and continue to do so, including your positive mindset towards everything, your sense of humour and your enthusiasm for life. Thanks for everything, dear Philippine. So, to the Marsden family, Samantha, Arnold and Olivia, ever since the first day I met you and I choked on that particularly stringy piece of mozzarella, you have welcomed me into the family, and for that I'm truly grateful. We've had a number of incredible memories together, and you were exceptionally kind and supportive to both of us. Many of the things I love about Georgia, I see these traits in all of you, so thank you very much. I've always seen you as family, but it's an honour to officially join the family today. To my groomsmen, Owen, Alex, Callum and Rob, you're all true best friends. All true best friends, and you provide a constant source of wise and, more often than not, unwise counsel. Every time I'm with you, I'm constantly laughing, and I know that no of you have got best friends for life. A wise man once said, friends are the family you choose. And some people might regard a Welshman, a Scotsman, an Englishman, and someone from Burnley. But I've hit the jackpot. Cheers. I love you all. To George's bridesmaids, Olivia, Laura, Rosie and Eilish, you all look absolutely incredible in front. Thank you for everything you've done to make today possible. I know George is incredibly grateful for all of you and sees you all as sisters, as do I. You're both of our best friends, and thank you for always being there for both of us. We both love you very much. Now I know George didn't want me to mention this, but I think it's fitting that we have to say that unfortunately there's a few people who played a big part in saying both our lives who are not here with us today, all my grandparents, as well as the tragic loss of both my aunties Christine and Julie, George's uncle Peter and their beloved Derek, who are also no longer with us. I know that each and every one of those people had a lasting impact on who we are both are as people, and we're looking down and we're smiling today. To absolutely everyone I've mentioned in the last few minutes, including those that didn't mention that, I'd like to raise a celebratory glass now for them. Cheers. So now that brings me on to my gorgeous wife. In order to fully understand why me and Georgie got together so well and were so in love, I think you need to take us right back to the very beginning of the relationship. So many people think it started in year 10, but it actually started a bit of a false start in year 9. A couple of weeks. We started speaking on MSN, but kind of social awkwardness, a bit of anxiety, dictated that it was an exclusively online relationship. Now, perhaps being bored of a boyfriend being a purely virtual presence, who would run to the top yard with any chance of a social interaction, George had decided I was not the love of her life, but you did the honourable thing, and you sent Eilish and Lex to do it. Now, many tears were shed that lunchtime, and with my heart in tatters, I dragged myself to the next lesson, which was double arch, where I sat relatively close to George. I can't remember what I drew in that art lesson, but you really need to discover it's one of the most accurate depictions of loss and despair. Not soon after this, I realised I had a bit of a problem. It was just before your birthday, just after mine, thanks. And with George's birthday approaching, I bought Georgia exactly what every girl wanted. some jelly beans, and a book about the pop group JLS. You know, I decided to be the better person. She just dumped me through my lifetime. Better person, and give her the gifts just before our IT lesson. So we'd gone up to IT, took off our shoes, which was weird. Took our shoes off before every IT lesson. Anyway, took the shoes off, and it became clear that Georgia could see them both in my hand, but she was only interested in one of the gifts for some reason. So you can only imagine my dismay when she took the JLS book off me. The jelly beans. Now, thankfully, this was not my only one shot of love, and my heart would beat again. I wrapped my brain about how I could win her back, and you know, being mentioned before, the continental man I am, decided that I'd send her a note in GCSE French, the language of love. I was very nervous. I scribed a roach, which read, Rencontrez-moi pour les autres, sorry for the pronunciation. Rencontrez-moi pour les autres. There's some in the room that speak French, but those that don't, you'll know this, it means meet by the skip. Met by the skip, and the rest is history. Now, the skip day was a roaring success. It was great. So we arranged another day at the equally romantic Blackburn View Cinema. I inexplicably arranged a meet time at 10 a.m. on Saturday morning. So picked up Blackburn at 10 a.m. Georgia comes in. I've not planned what we're watching. I don't know if you've ever been to Blackburn View Cinema at that time, or any cinema at that time. There's not a lot on. Options limited. So, luckily we got there. Service said to us, "Oh, you just made it in time. Only film that's on is the Disney hit Tangled, and that's going to be the 10 a.m. showing. It's the kids' club, and it's popular today. So the only seats we've got down the front are the accessible seats. So obviously we went for it. Both enjoyed the film, very good, and just." But we enjoyed it because just before that, George agreed to be my girlfriend again. I really like you when I say that to me. So, as you can see from your table numbers, me and George have been together for a long amount of time. Over this time period, I think we've truly grown with each other, moulded each other into the people we are today. To put it simply, Georgia is the most incredible, beautiful, kind, warm, hilarious, exciting and gorgeous person I have ever met. We have shared countless priceless memories with one another, and I'm incredibly excited to experience everything life has to offer with you. I know that Georgia is my soulmate, as I can honestly say I wake up every day excited to share it with you, and even on the toughest of days, I know everything will be okay because I get to go and see you. Georgia has an innate ability to be able to talk to anyone and leave a positive impression on them. I'm yet to meet someone who has a bad word to say about Georgia, from people who've only just met her to people who've known her years and years. She makes me incredibly proud in everything she does. Made a number of brave decisions recently, leaving your job, setting up your own business. It's very scary, but the way you've tackled that makes me incredibly proud. I know it does everyone in the room. I was incredibly nervous before asking you to marry me in that park in Copenhagen, and the happiest man on the planet when you said yes. We both knew that this was a confirmation of what we already knew. We are committed to love and laugh with each other for life. Although you often say I kept you waiting a lifetime before I asked you to marry me, it's something I've waited all my life for. Speaking directly to my new wife, you are the most incredible person, you are my soulmate. You are my absolute everything, my ray of sunshine, my best friend and my love. You are the sweetest human being alive, and I cannot wait to spend every day with you for the rest of my life. I promise you that I will love with you, laugh with you, explore with you, be excited with you, and be with you through the tough times and the good forever and ever. Georgia Lucas, I really like you. Now, can everyone please be upstanding? To Georgia. And me.
And the moment we've all been waiting for. I'd like to introduce to you Dave Clucas. Round of applause to his Edwin.
Yes, hello, my goodness. Jesus, okay, cool. So before I start, I was given a telegram this morning that I want to wish Mike and George all the best from Australia. So we got two here today, and that's Jackie and Janine who made the trip over. But yeah, special thanks as well from Daniel, Seth, Rick, Misha, Morgan, Cooper, Elsie, Rosie and Leo as well. So send you a wish from us. Good evening, family and friends, and welcome to the only 5 minutes that Georgia hasn't been presiding over. So today we're here to celebrate their beautiful wedding, and we're joined by Mike's groomsmen as well. And Mike's groomsmen really do span the career of Mike's life. We really span all the different eras. You know me, he's been there from day one. Through thick and thin. We've also got Alex, joined him at primary school, St Mary's Oswald Eston, been together through thick and thin. Owen from St Augustine's High School, beautiful compare today, has been doing a great job. And then Rob, who came a closer friend in later life and might move into Clitheroe. Callum's here as well. But they're not the reason we're here today, however. Of course, we're here to celebrate the big day for Mike and George's wedding. And going all the way back to 2009, I remember having quite a bit of frustration that my 2 years younger brother has just got his girlfriend, the first ever girlfriend, before me. But I took great solace in the fact that they're only in year 9, it'll last a couple of weeks. And look where we are today! That did lead to a quite memorable moment in the years thereafter, where I got the Birds on the Beach chat from my dad at the exact same time as my 2 years younger brother, with my dad, ever the efficient man, killing 2 birds with one stone. But throughout my childhood, me and Mike battled for years, that being through daily FIFA tournaments, daily cul-de-sac football games where we didn't ever realise that the person at the top of the hill would always win, because gravity. And then occasional childhood arguments where I would pester Mike for his primary school speech impediment, and he got me for being a poor kid. Mike got over his speech impediment. Mike Pippin racing to be a common theme throughout our childhood. Mike's under 11s Mellow Juniors team, beating my under 13s team, largely thanks to Ollie Rothbone, and not at all depressive result for us, being beat by 2 years younger set of kids, but it was fine. Mike was pretty much always the better one at football as it came to generally a larger life, and that became apparent when Mike was starting to have trials and played for Lancashire for a while, but that wasn't quite the case in year 10, however, where on a summer's evening at the Reebok Stadium in Bolton, Mike had to be subbed off after about 10 minutes with cramp. And I've had it on good authority that George is hoping for similarly no cramping up this evening on the dance floor, of course. And it was around this time where me and Mike started to develop a bit more of a music taste as well, and so indie alternatives influences started taking hold, and a bit of the Cortinas in the ceremony today, and that was one of me and Mike's first gigs. So Wigan in Acol, I think it was called. Me and Mike went to Cortinas together. I went to Beaver Brother Manchester 2012, a flash from the past, but pales in comparison to our first ever concert, that being in 2004 with Busted supported by McFly. So I really did take the, that one really was a highlight for that. Mike clearly struggled without me, however. A few years after, he went to festival up in Scotland, I think it was. And on the Sunday, Mike missed the headline set for The Killers because he'd got sunburn and his mum had to pick him up. So, yeah, good showing there, Mike. Clearly needed me by your side on that front. As well as festivals, Mike's song lyrics have never really been Mike's strong point when it comes to his musical influences, and this came to the forefront in the Christmas period one time where we were playing a family game, and I think we put on the smash hits on the background, and I think E17 had just come on, and just it hits the chorus where it's stay another day, stay now is a strong epiphany of what comes through in that, and Mike, unprovoked to nothing, confidently sings, sleigh bells! Naturally, all the heads turned to Mike and said, "Sorry, what was that? Something about sleigh bells?" He was like, "It's a Christmas song. Sing about Christmas." Wasn't the first mishap of that kind, certainly won't be the last. So a bit later on in life, Mike went to Liverpool to study medicine. Mike also then at this time caught the family running bug, regularly running and pacing marathons, and whilst he was conducting life as a Blackburn Rob and a Georgia, I must say that the pride I have that has never taken hold of you is truly great. Such as myself, never been bothered, and she's the exact same well, so level of pride there. Appreciate it. So that now shifts us back to the modern day. Mike and George are moving into the first home in Clitheroe, and the Clucas hairline is playing catch up to us both. Better showing than our dad, and know that me in a few months' time. It's the most impressive attendee today that hasn't travelled halfway around the world. So, great for Mike to also show his religious side in the last 6 months, despite him being dragged to church for 8 years, but that's by the by. As you can clearly tell from the last 5 minutes, us Clucas is like taking the mick out on each other, and sincerity's a bit of a weakness despite my mother's best efforts. So Georgia, or as our grandma would have always have said, Georgia, welcome to the family. I've always suspected that my mum has wanted a daughter, and she's now basically had one since the 2009 Tangle date. Mike, I love you for always being there for me, for the person you've become, and for being the best brother and best friend that you can ask for. These two are clearly the real deal. I'm excited for your futures together and for being a part of everything that life has for you and indeed us going forward. So if you'll join me in raising a glass to the bride and groom, to Mike and Jordan. Done.